Great signs to hold for
Yeah.
you. The one's over there. We'll do one more right there. Perfect.
Got him?
Is that everybody?
Okay, thank you all for coming. We're here to celebrate Representative Biasucci's bill for healthy foods in our schools becoming law.
All right.
The time has come to eliminate harmful foods from public schools and vending machines. Synthetic food dyes are associated with behavioral issues, which then affect a child's ability to perform academically and engage socially. This is a familiar crusade for me. In 2006, I was successful in getting sugared sodas out of the schools, and I am just as enthusiastic about seeing this effort succeed. When I got the sugared sodas out of the schools, I had to fight against the lobbyists for the soda industry. It was quite a fight, but we won it, and there are no more sugar. There are no more sugar. I have a mint, so apparently I got something. There are no more sugared sodas in our schools, and this is as equally as important. Beginning in school year 2026-2027, any school that participates in a federally funded or assisted meal program is no longer allowed to serve or permit a third party to sell ultra-processed food on school campus during the normal school day. These are the ingredients that are forbidden: potassium bromate, propylparaben, titanium oxide, these things even sound scary, brominated vegetable oil, yellow dye 5, yellow dye 6, blue dye 1, blue dye 2, green dye 3, red dye 3, and red dye 40. So it's not all the red dye. Someone asked me about a red dye that they like. When this goes into effect, the department will post a standardized form that schools may use to certified compliance, as well as post a list of each public school that has certified to ADE that the school is compliant with the law. So I'm going to do, and this will not cost the schools anything. The companies are used to this, to comply with these kind of things, as they already do it in Europe. And our country is behind, but we're catching up. And so now I'll introduce Representative Biasucci, who did this bill, and we're grateful to him for doing it, and he has a few words to say.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. Arizona has officially banned artificial food dyes and toxic additives from all school meals.
Yeah.
Well done. Today we send a message to every parent in Arizona. We see you, we hear your concerns, and we're taking action to protect your children. To every student, you deserve clean, safe food, and now you'll get it. And to other states watching what we've done here, follow Arizona's lead. Let's be the spark that ignites change across the entire country. I need to say thank you to two very important people, because we would not be here today if it wasn't for President Trump and Secretary Kennedy when they met in August, and they made the decision to do what was best for the country. They didn't have to agree to the agreement they made that he would become the next Secretary of Health. But he made that decision because he cares more about the health of our children and our society than a title. Without them, this would not be possible, because it took somebody to speak at the highest level about this issue. And I want to even go back further, because this is a bipartisan effort. Michelle Obama even brought this up years ago when she talked about school lunches. But sometimes timing means everything. And we're at a point in time where parents, families, students, everybody decided this was the moment we make change. And so I'm proud, and I want to say really quickly, thank you to everybody at the highest level that was involved. We couldn't be here without them, and I'm forever grateful. Jake Hinman, where's he at? Jake, thank you. This guy called me when I got back from my trip from Europe over the summer, and he said, hey, there's this crazy idea. Let's try to ban these toxic ingredients from our school lunches. And it was funny because after our conversation, I was all in. He said to me, Rep, maybe this just starts a conversation and nothing happens, but at least we can start the conversation. Look at us now. Well done. Thank you, Jake. for everything you've done for this. Appreciate you. Rob Schneider. So I'm at the Maha Ball in DC during the inauguration, and like a little groupie, I'm standing by the stage as he's doing his opening act at the ball. And as he comes off stage, I start yelling to Rob that I was from Arizona. And look, he could have told me to pound sand, but he didn't. And let me tell you how great of a supporter this man has been. Rob, from that moment, gave me a cell phone number. He said, Representative, I want to be involved. I'm not asking for anything. I just want to do what's right for our children. I want to do what's best for the health of our children. And Rob, I couldn't be more grateful. You've been there from day one, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. I also want to thank a few people, Dr. Amon, Callie Means, Danica Patrick, Bonnie Harry, we know as Food Babe, Turning Point Action, Senator Sham, Chairman Gress, Chairman Warner. Thank you all for your contributions and support in all of this. I couldn't have done this without any of your help. Finally, I want to make one more comment. Lake Havasu Unified School District, who is my hometown school district, where I went to school at, when this bill was first introduced, they called me, President Rose of the school board president called me and said, Representative, we would love you to come down. This was in January. Come down and speak to our school board about your bill. Not only did they adopt my bill unanimously that night, they sent me an email 2 weeks ago saying, we have fully implemented your bill. Our lunches across the entire school district are free of every single food dye and chemical you put in your bill. And I want to say thank you and give a round of applause to Lake Havasu Unified School District for doing this immediately. 59-0, 28-0, and a signature from our governor. That is 100% unanimous support, bipartisan unanimous support. This entire legislative body, including the governor, I want to thank, because they stood here, they continue to stand behind me and say, our children's health is all that matters, and we're going to do everything we can in the state of Arizona to make sure that their school lunches are as healthy and toxic-free as possible. Congratulations, Arizona. HB 2164 is law, and our children are healthier because of it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
One thing I should have mentioned is every one of the chemicals I mentioned has been scientifically demonstrated to be harmful to children. So this is a scientifically based bill. I'd now like to introduce Senate Majority Leader Shamp, who has some remarks to make.
Thank you, Superintendent Horn. Hello, everyone. Senate Majority Leader Janae Shamp here from Legislative District 29. And I'm honored to be here today standing amongst so many champions that have fought for our kids, because there's absolutely nothing more important than the future of our children. And we know now that it all starts with what we eat. So we just made history for their health. And I think that we should celebrate that. We should celebrate the bipartisan aspect of this, that when we all come together for our kids, we can actually make changes. Thank you very much, Leo Biasucci. I am really honored to be able to support this bill on the Senate side, to be able to make sure that everyone knew what we were up to. No more ultra-processed lunches will be served to our children, and that's music to my ears as a nurse. We had overwhelming support from every corner on this bill. I would like to thank all of the legislators, U.S. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., health advocates, parents, and all of the students that have come out to speak their minds, and all of the parents. Last week, it was an incredible week to have so many kids and parents at the legislature interacting, talking about how excited they are to have healthy lunches. So this bill does prove that when we come together, we're absolutely unstoppable. So let's keep this momentum going and celebrate this new incredible chapter together. Join me in giving every single mom and dad in the state of Arizona a round of applause for supporting the kids of Arizona.
And now someone who's been a good friend to me for several years, County Superintendent Shelley Boggs.
Thank you. Hi, I am Shelley Boggs, your Maricopa County School Superintendent, and it is a good day for Arizona families and students. To say I am happy is an understatement. Children's health should never be a partisan issue, and signing HB 2164 into law proves that Arizona agrees. This bill phases out ultra-processed foods being given to kids throughout programs funded by the federal government. No longer will our tax dollars be used in schools to poison students. As I stated before, when our kids are strong, our country's strong. This is an example of what putting kids first looks like. Here in the great state of Arizona, we are not just talking about it, we are doing something about it. It is unfortunate that we have to have a law in place that ensures our schools are providing healthy options for students. But I am very proud that Arizona is leading the way in making America healthy again. Thank you.
And Julie Hinman, nurse practitioner.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Julie Hinman, nurse practitioner, and I'm thrilled to be here today and to congratulate the leaders here in Arizona and the families on the tremendous progress that has been made with health and nutrition when it comes to kids. As a healthcare provider, I can't wait to see the change and in the individual and also in the families as we implement these more nutritious meals in schools. I'm certain that this is just the beginning and gives us such a tremendous platform to build upon this bill and to improve the health of our children. I look forward to see what comes from this and look forward to all of the excitement, all of the interest in nutrition and policy. I want to again thank Representative Leo Biasucci and Senator Champ, got it, for all of the work and all of the care and passion that they poured into this bill for our children who really depend on the foods that they eat and the school meals that they receive, breakfast, lunch, and sometimes even after school. So thank you again. It's a wonderful day for the children and the families of Arizona.
And now someone is going to steal the show from the rest of us, Rob Schneider.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you. I don't know if I can follow that. I just want to say that during a very heightened partisan time in our nation, look what Arizona can achieve. It can be a completely bipartisan support for a bill that is 100% great for children. I'd like to thank the Democrats for unanimously working with Representative Leo Biasucci. And I really like to thank Governor Hobbs for signing this, because it really is important to bring people together to do this. And I would just like to say that this can be a great pilot program for other states as we move forward. As we move forward and continuing to make Americans and American children healthy. If we don't have healthy children, we don't have a healthy country. And we will move forward. And I really look forward to, as your nurse said, that we have an opportunity. This is just the beginning. I'm looking forward to working with the local farmers markets, and getting fresh produce into the schools. I have 2 young kids in Arizona in school here, and they're really excited about having fresh, good food. That's great. We have great farmers here, and it'd be wonderful to be able to put that together. And so as we see a heightened rhetoric in this country, it's great to see that we can come together and both parties can work together and do something completely unanimously that's 100% positive for our children. And I hope that other states take notice and that they follow Arizona's lead, and we will continue to lead here. And thank you, honestly, Representative Biasucci, for creating such goodwill on this for everybody to get behind, and with such good spirit behind it. And it was really wonderful to see that such great leadership, and wonderful to see the parents coming together and all those beautiful children here in Arizona. And I'm really happy. And I know they're getting tired of holding these signs. So I'll wrap it up. I want to say thanks to everybody. And again, thank you for the House and for the Senate for coming together on this one. This is good. We can always come together, and nonviolence. We need to, both parties need to step up and say nonviolence for everything, for all issues. We need to be 100% opposed, and all legislatures at the federal level, state level, to completely oppose violence in any of its forms. Thank you very much.
And Representative Biasucci, Would you like, before we go to question and answer, would you like to explain the handprints?
Yeah, so if this couldn't be even more hilarious, we decided to get our handprints on this poster and to show you what these dyes do. Imagine that in your body. So if there was something to show that this should not be consumed, we tried everything to wash these off and they wouldn't wash off. But we had our kids and everybody up here sign this great piece of paper, or this great poster board from the Department of Ed, just showing how excited we are and how excited we are for our children to make sure that they're getting the best possible food. So truly a great day here in Arizona. I want to thank everybody for being here, and we'll open it up to any questions if you have any. Yes.
So on the school lunch topic, there was an introduced, I guess, a piece of this that would have included a 3.8 million appropriation to cover like I think excess costs and the reduced lunch program. What happened to, I guess, the funding piece of the legislation, and do you anticipate that coming back in budget negotiations? And yeah, what would your stance be on that?
So yeah, thank you for the question. So I want to give a credit to Representative Gutierrez. She's my colleague in the House. She introduced that bill and actually put my language onto her bill with the funding. So I completely supported her when she did that move, because I believe that we have to make sure we have the funding available to make sure the meals are being paid for. Luckily, when Havasu Unified School District made the change and they were able to do it fairly quickly, they told me there wasn't much of a cost shift, but I'm always going to support more money going to our food program. So that will be a budget negotiation, and it's always been tailored to be that way. So anything that has dollars tied to it always gets put into the budget. She knows I support her, and I support her efforts to get more money in there. So that is still alive and well, but it will be a budget negotiation, not necessarily a bill that's signed from the governor. Yeah. Yes.
There's so much research that shows that school lunches are already the healthiest meals that many kids have access to, yet some in Washington want to cut down on the federal community eligibility program, which provides free meals for low-income students, hundreds of thousands of which are right here in Arizona.
Sure.
What do you say to those that are threatening to take away that access in order to fund Trump's agenda?
Sure. So when we spoke with Secretary Kennedy when he was here last week, we talked about this. We talked about there's a lot of reforms happening at the federal level. And he made it very clear to us, as did the White House. They said, we aren't cutting, we're reforming. We're making sure that the monies are being spent properly. And so although it looks like these monies are being taken away, he made it very clear that we're going to make sure that the dollars are there to do fund programs like this. Things like Try It Local. You have a lot of different programs that do the same thing. Their goal is to make sure the money is being used properly and efficiently. So that money will be there to help things like this, because we all here behind me, and I know a lot of the legislators that voted for this, we believe in how do you put more money into buying locally? How do you go to the farmers markets? How do you go to buy products that are right there in each city and town? That's the most efficient way and effective way to get these products that are better. So I have the confidence and I had the word from the administration that that money will be there when the time comes. They just need to do some reforms, because as anything, there's wasteful spending happening everywhere. They want to make sure they cut that out and make sure the money is being used the best way possible. So I had the confidence in that, and they told me directly. Secretary Kennedy told me directly. Thank you. Yes.
Just given the fact that this got such widespread support and it's a jumping off point, do you have any plans, I guess, to expand this list or look at other areas to make school lunches more healthy in the future?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So I probably got endless emails from constituents, which I loved, saying, look, this should be included or this should be included. So there was a ton of items. This list could probably be 50 items long, if not more. But I also know, being at the legislature, this is my 7th year, that sometimes you have to get something through and get it passed first before you expand on something. So everything's incremental and you have to start somewhere. So this is why when we created this list, we made sure that every item on this list had the scientific backing. I wanted to make sure that it was as hard as possible for you to say no and vote no on this bill. And so I made sure every item had the backing. But you're right, there are so many more items we can add. And the beautiful part about this is we can always come back every legislative session once the scientific data proves that, hey, this is doing this, this, and this. These items, they were clear, whether it's behavioral issues, ADHD, cancer. Every single one of these items can be tied to something. So
my favorite phone call, was Representative Biasucci saying the food company, that chemical company, is lobbying to keep titanium dioxide in the food. And I went like, when I think of vitamins, I think of A, B, and I think of vitamin C or E and D. but I don't think of vitamin titanium dioxide. But I got to tell you, that's a struggle. So it's a beachhead, and I'm very proud of this because you got to start somewhere. And this is a great place to start, and it's a great place to build, and it's a great place to. And it was a huge accomplishment to get this. So it really is something. I'm really impressed.
Thank you, Robin. And I will touch on that real quick. We had titanium dioxide was brought up. If that should be removed. Titanium dioxide is literally used for a bleaching agent. It's just to make something whiter. So the reason for me to keep it in, some states have taken it out. Maybe it was to pressure. I don't know what the reasoning was. But there's no nutritional value at all for titanium dioxide. It's in paint, it's in plastics, it's in food. And when I looked at the data, Europe has banned it completely. So the whole European Union has it completely banned. But the reason we kept it in is because the data shows in the studies that there are nanoparticles that are still lodged into the body when it's consumed. The question is, over a long period of time, what is the damage? We don't have data on that. So I took the approach of the European approach of let's take it out now. Down the road, and I am always going to be open to this, down the road, if data comes back in a different, saying it is healthy, or we can always put it back in and take it off the list. That's the beautiful thing about legislation. We can always come back, make changes, add, subtract. But I was very, very confident in this list and made sure the data was there to prove it. Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Thank you guys so much. Maha on 3.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one more?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask about what about I know school is obviously a huge place for kids to gather. Obviously they're there 5 days a week, but what about, do you plan to expand this to restaurants, grocery stores? I know you mentioned farmers markets. Is there a plan to expand this down the line?
Yeah, I think something that's very important to me as a Republican is choice, right? I firmly believe, and that's why in the bill it says if a parent still wants to give their child an item that's banned, they can still do so because that's their right. The most important part of this bill is education, right? I talk about this, how I can't blame parents. I can't blame the public because we just didn't know. We didn't know what Red 40 was doing. We didn't know what titanium dioxide is doing to your body. We weren't educated on it. So if we can educate the public on what they're doing and then give them the choice to make that decision, the educated decision on my child shouldn't be eating this or that. Would I like to see these items completely out of all the foods? Absolutely. As a personal choice, I would. I just don't know if we ever get there because people still have the choice to consume when they want to consume and put in their body what they want. But what I can control is our school lunches. These are our children, the most important part of our population. If we know that it's causing these health issues and we are funding it as government, it is our responsibility to make sure that they're eating the best possible foods and we're not poisoning them with these ingredients that are toxic. So I would love to see expanded. And the great news is when the consumer demands something, change happens. You're now seeing companies like Doritos and Fruit Loops, they're changing their formulas. They're removing these dyes. And especially with these companies that make the product already a better product. Like the Fruit Loops is a great example. Kellogg's makes a Fruit Loop in Europe that's made with beet juice, spirulina, turmeric. They use their natural food colors where we're using the dyes. When the consumer demands change, they have to change their product. And if they can do it already, there's no reason why they can't do it here. So I'm hoping that the industry corrects itself and says, look, let's put profits aside. Let's do what's right for the people and for the health of this country. And I'm hopeful that will make drastic change and we'll have more options for better products across every aisle in the grocery store.
I am an example of what can happen to you when you consume food dyes. Look at me. I'm barely taller than this second grader. We should be all grateful we have this bill. That's all.
All right, guys, I appreciate everybody so much. And thank you. And to all the children in Arizona, we got your back. And thank you so much. God bless you. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, Maha.
Hey, 1, 2, 3,
Maha! All right. Thank you, guys.
Here, we'll take it. You did great. Thank you so much. You did awesome. Hey, thank you so much. You did great.